So GDP just released. It showed up right here at this number, and tomorrow we have one of the biggest economic reports of the month. This is in a landscape of markets and economics in which we've had big pullbacks on Wednesday because of fears of the US-China chip war heating up. New US export restrictions are going to be kicking in soon if they're not reversed. China's big energy efficient rules on high performance chips. And again, the big thing dropping this week is Friday's PCE inflation report at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And so let's take a look in deeper with everything going on what the inflation report might show, how the market might respond, and more. Let's dive into it. Okay, so first things first, the NASDAQ on Wednesday had a huge drop all the way down to $20,000 on this chip news. Essentially, this chip news came out in the morning time and the market downtrended all day. The NQ opened up at about 20.5 thousand, maybe a little bit higher than that. It closed the day around $20,000 for the NQ, the NASDAQ 100 futures contract. And again, this is all leading into Friday's report, which is incredibly important. We have the core PCE report. The Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, they look at core PCE inflation to gauge inflation in the United States. This report drops once a month, but I think with the current landscape of everything going on, with everybody questioning when we're going to get rate cuts, this report is a little bit more important, a little bit more influential than it normally is. And so let's take a look at the expectations and everything there. I'm going to pull up Market Watch here, and you can see core PCE inflation is expected at 2.7% right here, 2.7%. Now that is a 0.1% uptick relative to what it was last month at 2.6%. And again, you can see on a month-to-month basis, it's expected to stay the same at about 0.3% uptick. Another big report that we honestly have seen some movement on more than normal is the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report. Now, this is that 10 a.m. report where you have the prelim numbers and then the final numbers. That is expected at about 57.9. That's about what it showed up as last time, so they're not changing it from the prelim to the final. But that's a report where if it doesn't show up at this 57.9 number, we might get some volatility from that. But again, the big one you want to watch is the core PCE report. This is a situation in which the market wants rate cuts. The market's been pushing for rate cuts. They want earlier rate cuts. When the Federal Reserve spoke last week, Jerome Powell said that they were going to be data dependent, that they weren't going to push rate cuts earlier than needed. And essentially, in order to get those rate cuts, we need low inflation numbers. The Federal Reserve is not going to cut rates unless we have low inflation, or at least reasonable inflation, under control, because they don't want those lower rates to cause inflation to get worse, because with interest rates being lower, people can spend more. When people spend more, businesses can raise prices and inflation can spike. And so that's the fear right now in a lot of people's minds, is inflation. And that is one of the big reasons that tomorrow's core PCE inflation report is something you probably want to tune into. Of course, we're going to be streaming all of this live. We stream all of this economic data, any economic data that comes out during the week. If it's important data, if it's 3 or more star data, we stream it live. We have thousands of people tune in as soon as it drops. And so if you want a one-stop shop that covers all of this stuff, tune in, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. But yeah, regardless of whether you're watching my stream or not, PCE inflation report on Friday is massive, especially in the current landscape where we've had a big correction, a small few days of bounces, and then on Wednesday, another big correction to the downside because of US and China chip relations and news. So we'll see what happens there. Let me know what you guys think we're going to get next week. Next week, we have an array of stuff going on. We've got the JOLTS report. We've got April 2nd, which is Doomsday, tariff day on April 2nd. We've got Tesla delivery numbers. We've got jobless claims. We've got non-farm payrolls, unemployment, just so many economic reports coming out next week. And so again, hit that sub button if you want to tune in. We're going to cover all that stuff live. Be ready. It might be a volatile couple week period, and you guys just be safe in the market. Again, if you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. And yeah, if that's it, we'll see you guys on Friday for the PCE data release. Good luck. Be safe. Hopefully it goes well.